Okay, so in this course we create our first C++ class and then we will create notification library. Basically we'll use it as well for additional nodes, but for now it will do. So we press tools. Now we head to blueprint function library, which is here, and I will name that extend editor library. Extend editor library. Now I'm going to press create class, and we need to wait a little bit because it will generate all of the files. As you can see, it can do sources. Now I would like to open it up. I'll use a Rider. Rider is free now, so we can use it freely. As you can see, it launches our project, and we need to wait a little bit until it loads finally. And then we'll be able to add our first functionalities to extend our editor. So we need to wait a little bit. As you can see the progress in the bottom right panel. Now, first what I'm going to do, I'll add a first function. This function will be able to create notification. We'll call it uFunction blueprint callable. So this is the first actually function. We'll use that. We can use extend library. As you can see, it's automatically adds some of the stuff. And now I'll use static void, and this will be notification, or like I would name it library notification. So you have this kind of style. And now from here I'm going to add a few variables. First will be const text, because you want to make a text just a parse, not to make a as I showed before, like in show object log. So I will use this as notification text. Now I'll use another variable. The another variable will be const string, and the second will be URL link, and another one will be const ftext as well. It will be not notification text but URL text. It's okay, we can leave it as it is. As you can see, we still have a problem because we haven't added a question mark. And now when everything is ready, I just press right mouse button, and now we just generate a definition. And now from here, we're going to create a notification. And maybe actually I will make a Ctrl Z. I will just undo the generation, and I will make as well length. It will be float and notification length. And now, when everything is ready, I just press the right mouse button on it. Now I'll just generate definition for that. And when everything is done, as we can see, we have a mistake, but I can just press quickly here. We are going to add stuff. So first we'll use if with editor, because we won't only use it with in editor. So with editor, this is it. So we have if editor, but we need and if, so we can add automatically. And this will be like with editor, just this one, and if with the editor. So this is actually how we can turn off. Actually, we do not use this all the time, but it will just prone the error, so we have to notify that. We can use only and if as well, it will work. And now I'll use f notification info, and this will be information. And now I'm going to use notification text. It's gonna be the main stuff, notification text. I do not need anything, I just need this one thing. As you can see, it shows it's incomplete, because in fact we haven't initialized it. If we press context, we need to include the definition. So for now, it will automatically add that definition from the widget. And now, what I'm going to do, I can obviously use icon, but for now I'll just use a variable, because for now I can just use it, but we can even parse as an additional parameter in that function. So I'll use info image, and that info image will be fcore style. I'll use get, and from get I'll use get brush, and from get brush, what I'm actually going to do, it will be icons and success with color. Basically, we need to know about the property name, so we have to go to the source code to know about it. But for now, it's okay. First, what I'm going to do, we need to check if this library notification, especially our URL and the text, is actually filled up. So if our URL is empty, so I added like exclamation mark. So now it will only do it when it's not empty. If it's empty, it will just return the node, and obviously everything will be completely finished. So now I just make some space to make it more clear. I'll use now info, which is our variable, hyperlink text, because I know how this structure looks like, and the hyperlink text will be our URL, right? URL text. Yes, because it's a texture, is a text. And now I'll use info, and not info, it's hyperlink. And hyperlink obviously will be our URL, but we need to create a simple delegate that will open it up in our browser. You can use simple delegate, which is here, and then we can create a lambda. And from now, I'm going to use URL because it's a string, and yeah. And now, as you can see, there's a address URL. So we have a hyperlink text, we have all the functionalities. And for now, if it's done, obviously, so this is just a click. We have to listen to that. If it's opening up, we have to go into this kind of thing. When we have a course tab, I think we just add the duration. We can use expire duration, and our expire duration will be notification length. Okay, automatically it sets up. So if the URL is empty, we can have a here, this is like a hyperlink text. This is just a normal hyperlink that creates a lambda, and now we want to open it up. So I will use platform process, but not slip actually. It's gonna be launch URL. And our launch URL, we have to determine some parameters. It will be our URL, yeah, that we have here. We have possibility to specify some parameters, but we don't need, so it will be null PTR. Okay, so for now we have this kind of thing, which is great. And we can even now pass this as a notification. So I just specify this functionality that is here. It's a notification info. So in order to use that notification that we have specified, this is the name, info. We can even try to rename that. So if everything is done, because now it just like it listens to our others URL, we have to just show it up and use that stuff that we specified before. So I will just slate notification manager, and now it will just use get. And as we can see, we have a possibility to cancel notification, register stage notification, but we just want to add notification, which is the first one. And we already specify all the information. This is in this variable. What I'm going to do, I'll just press info. As we can see, it's no longer grayed out. And now I can compile, but there will be error because we haven't added actually a slate core to our build SES. So I press Ctrl-Shift-B, which is like a binding, and we'll be able actually to see if it compiles or not. If it's not, we can actually see if it's an error. And if it compiles, actually it's great. We can try to check it, and if we do not see our changes, it's highly recommended to restore the editor again. As we can see, it's an invoke, which is generation problem, and we have to dive deep in it and see actually why it doesn't compile. And sometimes, as you can see, even into here, we can see live coding failed, please see a console. Even if you go to our editor, we can kind of see where is the problem. And one of the main problems is we not have a slate core in our build LSS because we are just using it for creating notification. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do, I am going back to my code in Rider, and now when I press source, as you can see, we have this kind of build S, and now we have to add another libraries in order to compile this. And I will add two more things, which will be very useful and actually must have because we will use custom slate and information. I'll use a slate core as well. Basically, we have to use these two packages. And yeah, now it's gonna work. And even from here, okay, now we cannot compile it because it's apparently closed. I just go to course extend editor, but later on we'll be able to see actually afterwards. Sometimes actually we need to recompile. It can be a little bit buggy, but as soon as you compile, it will be very much smooth. So apparently after we compile, I had to restart the editor. It usually requires only once because later on it works. Now if I go to one of the scripted actions that I have created, for example, we can use maybe actor actions. Okay, I just will do it quick. And now I have a completed, which is the end transaction that we have created in the past when we wanted to return some stuff, right? Revert and the action. Now I can use our lib library notification. As you can see, it's here. And now from that I can use .com, and now I can press on notification length. I think it's wise to set like some default value, like 5 seconds. And this is the URL text. I can just make literal text and make it documentation. And notification text, it can be make literal text, random rotations have been set. And now if I press it, compile, and I will use this functionality, which is set random rotation. I'll go to one of the cylinders. I'll press scripted actions. I will use set random rotation. I press xroll. As you can see, random rotations have been set. If I press documentation, it will open up Google. Even if I continue doing that, go to set random rotation, press xroll, it will be documentation. I will press it, and now as you can see, it works normally.